This episode of the Tony Robbins Podcast is brought to you by Tony Robbins Results Coaching. Are you ready to experience an extraordinary quality of life? Or maybe you're already doing well, but you know you can take your life to a whole new level. To do that, you have to set yourself up to win. You need a process, a way to consistently grow and produce the results that you need. That's what a Tony Robbins Results Coach can do for you. Whatever area in your life you want to change, your relationship, your health, your career, or your business, coaching is one of the most valuable tools you can have. It's an investment in yourself, and it can yield some of the highest returns. Tony Robbins Results Coaches are hand-selected and trained by the master of coaching, Tony Robbins himself, to have the skills that will empower you with supreme focus, powerful insight, and the accountability needed to achieve everything you've ever dreamed. To help you get started, Tony is offering podcast listeners a free results coaching strategy session with one of his top coaches. It's a $200 value, and you're getting it for free. Visit TonyRobbins.com/results. Schedule that free session today. Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian in history. He's won 28 medals, and 23 of them are gold. Just to give you an idea of how incredible that is, the second most decorated Olympian is a gymnast from the Soviet Union with just 18 medals, and that was 55 years ago. Michael has trained and competed at the highest levels of elite swimming, has broken world records, and forged a lifelong career unrivaled by any other. Even after he announced his retirement in 2012, he made a valiant comeback in 2016 at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, where he won 5 more gold medals. Today on the Tony Robbins Podcast, you're about to hear from this legendary athlete as he and Tony have a one-on-one interview at Tony's private home as part of a small event held for the Platinum Partners. You'll hear as Michael Phelps shares with the group how he came to dominate the sport of swimming and the setbacks he faced along the way. Snowboarder Shaun White was also there, so you'll hear a little bit from him towards the end. You can hear the full interview with Shaun right here on the podcast, a few episodes back. For those of you who don't know that much about Michael Phelps already, here's some quick background. Michael has trained and competed in the swimming pool for the vast majority of his life. When he was just 15, he made his Olympic debut, and he spent the next 16 years mastering the sport through hard work, determination, intense focus, and an unwavering trust in his longtime coach, Bob Bowman. Now, this athlete-coach combo has been called one of the greatest in the history of swimming, and you're going to find out why. Michael tells Tony about his unbreakable relationship with Bob, who not only molded him into a supreme athlete, but who also played an essential role in his emotional upbringing. Not everything for Michael Phelps has been paved with gold. His rise to the top was not without a series of well-publicized stumbles. In this interview, he opens up about his own struggle with depression, which affects over 40 million people in the US, and takes a particular toll on Olympic athletes who are on a biochemical high during the games and then afterwards return home feeling empty and directionless. Now Michael's life is far different from what it once was. He's a husband and a father of 2 boys. He's more patient. He spends time writing. He's rekindling a relationship with his father. He's not planning on another Olympic comeback. Instead, he's using his platform to help save lives through the Michael Phelps Foundation and his commitment to raising awareness for water safety and mental health programs. And as he shares with Tony, to him, that's a comeback that's bigger than winning an Olympic gold medal.
Listen, I'm so excited to have you here. Both of you represent to me not only the greatest of all time in your sports, because you are, but men that have gone through the ringer. You know, we live in unique times where celebrities are treated in a very different way than they were, say, 50 years ago. And I know you went through a really rough time. I know you're raised by a single mom and had challenges with your dad, but the way you pulled yourself through that and the way you reconnected with your father, it's inspiring. And we respect you and love you, and we all do. We all watched your story in great detail before we came. Just want to really thank you.
Thank you.
So I just want to know, first of all, how is Michael Phelps different today than 2012?
I think the biggest thing is I'm comfortable with who I am. You know, I think for so long I really just looked at myself as kind of this kid that was a talented swimmer that just went up and down the pool, and I didn't really know who I was as a person. And I was to the point in my life where I didn't like who I saw in the mirror, and I, you know, super ADD, so I'm always bouncing off the wall and have a ton of energy and kind of can't get me to shut up from time. So I always thought people were judging me and looking at me differently. And finally, after my most recent downfall in 2014, I just decided that the world is going to show, like, I'm going to show the world who Michael Phelps is. And I wasn't going to care. This is me. And if you didn't like it, it's not my problem. I'm going to be me. And, I think that was the coolest part for me, especially in my career, and now moving past my career into welcoming our second child 7 weeks ago.
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's
into
beautiful.
this world.
Son or daughter?
2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
7-week-old Beckett, and then Boomer is going to be almost 2.
That's wonderful. How has having a child changed your life?
I learned a lot of patience. A lot of patience. And for number 2, it's a lot different than number 1 for me, because I wasn't there for the first 3 months, really, of Boomer's life. Like, I was in and out. So I didn't really experience the no sleep and this and that all comes along with it. So now that I'm retired, I get to experience all of this. And I think last week was probably the toughest week. I think I averaged about 4.5 hours every night. So it really tested me towards the end of the week, and my son was really pressing a lot of buttons. So it was a learning experience, but it was good. And it's been super fun. We've loved it. Absolutely
really
loved
beautiful.
it.
I love seeing the love with you and your wife, and seeing how she has stood by you to all these times. A lot of people bail in those moments, and you could just see that she loves you at a level that's extraordinary, and you deserve that. How much a role has she played in that comeback for you?
So Nicole and I have been, I guess this July will be 11 years that we've been on and off. We broke up after 08, back together before 12, broke up after 12, got back together before 16, and now I hope third time's a charm. But the coolest thing I think with our relationship is we've just been able to go through absolutely everything together. The good, the bad, the ugly, privately and publicly. And I think that's made us so much stronger. And also we've been able to grow with one another and just learn with each other how to communicate better. And now with 2 kids, just how to help each other. And it's been the coolest journey for me, just being able to grow with somebody that I love so much and that has played a huge, significant role in my life for a long time.
Well, let me take it back, if we could, to the very beginning. Your mom, we saw us put you in for safety purposes, and now you become the greatest athlete in the history of the Olympics in that area. Tell me something, like back in those days, were you a fish to water? Did they throw you in? Because everybody talks about things like, your 6'7" wingspan. You didn't have a 6'7" wingspan back then, and you still competed. When did you really take to the sport? What made you take to the sport? And at what stage did you say, this is